Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel, AJ's Movie Place. So I've got another in-car review for you for the latest episode of Marvel's What If. Yeah, so this is the start of what it's all been leading to. So without any further ado, let's get into this episode. Okay, so basically this episode is What If Ultron won. So yeah, with the start of this episode we meet up with Natasha, voiced by Lake Bell, and Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, and they're living in this future that's been overrun. The Earth's been destroyed by Ultron drones, well, Ultron and his drones, and yeah, these are like one of the last two survivors on Earth, fighting this horde of maniac robots, kind of Terminator style. We come to learn that the changes in this universe are actually to do with when Ultron was built and when Vision was built. Ultron, if you remember in the Age of Ultron film, he wanted the drone, the body of Vision, to put his own consciousness in, and he didn't get to do that. But in this, he does. And yeah, and then what happens is we find this scene where Thanos appears on Earth, and Ultron dispatches of him straight away, kills him, and gets a hold of the other Infinity Stones. So now you've got Ultron with the rest of the Infinity Stones. Ultron decides to go around the universe and starts destroying all the planets that we've come to see, like Xandar, Ego, all these planets that we've seen in the Marvel universe already. He goes around and destroys them until there's literally nothing left, and he's essentially a robot without a cause. He's destroyed everything. He's got nothing more to do. He then becomes aware of Watu, the Watcher, and becomes to realise that there's actually a multiverse of universes that he can now continue with his code, with his reason for being, and go and destroy. So he sets about doing this. Meanwhile, back on Earth, you have Natasha and Hawkeye. They infiltrate a KGB base and find the whereabouts of Armin Zola, voiced by Toby Jones, returning. So they go and find the last remaining Armin Zola, like in a computer program, the last remaining computer program. They upload him and they get a Ultron drone, and they upload him into the Ultron drone in an attempt to access Ultron himself and overtake his programming and stop him, or Vision as it would be, because it is Vision in the Ultron armour. But it's Ultron. Now, this leads to an amazing scene where you have the end of, or the sacrifice in Endgame, Natasha Romanoff's sacrifice, turned about face with Jeremy Renner in that position, and he's the one that falls to his death while saving her from an army of drones. You have some amazing fight scenes between Watu and Ultron. You see how powerful Watu actually is, and these fights take place across different universes, different multiverses, but basically ends with Watu fleeing, and at the very end of the episode you come to realise that he's put himself into Doctor Strange's prison. If you remember at the end of the Doctor Strange episode, Stephen Strange locked himself in his own prison of sorts in the mirror dimension, and Watu's in there, and he basically asks for his help, and obviously this is leading into what this is all culminating in. Guardians of the Multiverse. So yeah, fantastic episode. Last week's episode was pretty dire, to be honest. Didn't enjoy it. Watched it twice. Wasn't that good. But this episode, wow, this is, yeah, this has got to be one of the top episodes that I've seen so far. Okay, as for voice cast, the only returning voice members, obviously Jeffrey Wright as Watto, Jeremy Renner, Benedict Cumberbatch has a line at the very end. You do have Toby Jones voicing Armin Zola, and Lake Bell returns to voice Black Widow, because obviously Scarlett Johansson isn't doing it. With the voice cast, I didn't like the voice of Ultron, because James Spader has such a distinctive voice, such an amazing voice, that kind of lacking listening to someone else's voice come out of the Ultron or the Vision. The Vision body. So, yeah, that was a bit. But the animation, amazing, on point. The storytelling was fantastic. Captain Marvel does pop up at one point in the episode, fighting Ultron. An amazing episode, and really puts you on the edge of your seat waiting for next week's. So, if you're not watching this series, you really should be, because much like how the first phase of the MCU went, introducing all these different characters that then culminate in a big event with the Avengers at the end, this is what this series has done. So next episode, obviously, we're going to get to see Stephen Strange with Watto forming this team to take on Ultron and the Infinity Stones. So yeah, fantastic episode. Really enjoyed it. There's nothing more I can really say about it. Just brilliant stuff. Amazing writing. To see the culmination of this, and we all knew it was leading to this. It's going to be fantastic. So anyway, this is AJ. I'm getting going, and I'll see you next week with the next episode, the next review for the season finale of Marvel's What If.